Alright, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, all honor, all glory unto Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Akakwadash, double honors unto the apostles, the elders, the great millstone, the terminus truth of the Holy Spirit, and the sincere peace, blessings, and salutations to you, Akim, across the four corners of the earth that are pushing this knowledge and truth and this sincerity. Spread the balls off from the GMS Arizona Camp, Lord's will, with another quick lesson edified through the Holy Spirit. To you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which are the true children of Israel according to the scriptures and according to the prophecy. Shalom. This lesson is going into, being thankful that the Lord has given us and allowed us to have a sound mind. In this day, in this time where it seems that everybody is fucking losing it. I'm sitting back and I'm watching everyone around me that are just in the world and just living life, not giving any acknowledgement or consideration of the Lord and his commandments. I'm watching people bug out. I'm watching people just fucking lose their minds, man. I'm watching how they have no control. They have no hope. People are being given up to all of these vile affections, addictions, depression, and it's like their lives are just spiraling and circling the drain. And I'm watching it happen time after time. Not only that, but even the people that are in this truth. You seeing these, other groups wax worse and worse. You seeing men that try to tuck in their ulterior motives, knowing that they came into this thing not sincerely. Where we're seeing their true spirit, their true heart come out to the forefront, like your Al-Azhars, and people are just bugging out, going crazy, man. So we got to be thankful in this time, knowing and understanding that we're so close to the end, to have a sound mind. You know what? Because that's truly a blessing. It's truly a blessing in this time that you can just keep it even keel as we move closer and closer to the end, while everybody else in the world is bugging out, man, is losing their mind, and we haven't even gotten to the hard part yet. So it's a good sign that bros have a sound mind, and we got to continue to pray to Yahawashi, He has mercy on us, never takes his Holy Spirit from us. Isaiah 33 verse 6, it says, "In wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times." What's the wisdom? What's the knowledge? The understanding of these scriptures, the understanding of this truth, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord, Yahawah, Yahawashi, is his treasure. So you gotta know this truth if you plan on being stable in the times where the world is spiraling out of control, or your mind, your soundness is gonna spiral out of control with the world. If you don't have this truth to keep you stable. And what we can see is having this truth does exactly that, because the people that are around us, people in this truth, that aren't doing this thing sincerely, the Lord is bugging them all out. He's bugging them all out. This is Romans 1 and 28. It says, "And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind." Let's get that word for reprobate. There's a lot of men that's being given over to a reprobate mind. I was listening to a video from the elder out, Kazak out in Mississippi. And he was showing a guy that was formerly of the GMS Chicago camp, all the way knee deep into the world, Everything that he was once teaching against is all the things that he is doing. He had the blunt in his mouth, clouds of smoke, the skinny jeans, the whole nine. Just straight up out there in the world, man. And we know what the scriptures say about men that put their hand to the plow and looking back. Those men are going to be beat with many stripes. And so these men were given over into a reprobate mind because they didn't retain the Most High in their knowledge. Let's see.
Strong's G96, Adakimas.
It says not standing the test, not approved, man. Baba Kasha, Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi. Take not thy Holy Spirit from me, man, because ultimately that's what happened. When you don't take the Lord's commandments, His law, statutes seriously, when you don't take this work that we were commanded to do seriously, and you're not doing it sincerely, the Lord is going to take that spirit from you. And these are the results. The Alazars, the niggas from ITR, the nigga Darasha from the formerly Mississippi camp, I believe, or Louisiana. Regardless, he got with them reprobates from Mississippi, former head of Mississippi. And now the nigga locked up, man, vandalizing churches and shit. These dudes, they didn't stand the test, man. They were not approved. All right, we don't want to be of that stead. We want to be of those that finish the course that we set out to do, man. That we want to finish the race. It says that which does not prove itself such as it ought, unfit, unproved, spurious, reprobate. So that's what all the reprobates are, man. They're not approved. They're unproved. They're unfit, okay, to be rulers in the kingdom of heaven. And it's very foolish to think that anyone gets away, because the Lord sees everything. He knows our hearts. He knows when you're not taking His work serious, and when you become disenchanted, and then your actions start to show, and you don't want to do videos no more. Basically you coming out to the camp and faking the funk. Lord knows. And it's only a matter of time for the spirit leaves, man, and then those reprobate actions start to appear. You start to see it in your actions, in your speech, in your behavior. We've seen it many times, man. Romans 1:28 again, it says, and even as they did not like to retain the Most High in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient. That's happening to a lot of men in these times, man. That's why we gotta, operate under the Spirit, and as often as we can, pray to the Yahawashi for forgiveness and strength and faith. Unwavering. So we don't slip up to the point of no return, because we're gonna slip up and we're gonna make mistakes. We're fighting in this flesh. So. And the Lord understands, but you don't want to slip up to the point of no return, like these guys, man. There ain't no return for these guys, man. For the nigga of war from the formerly from GMS Mississippi. There's no return for these guys, man. And these guys offended. They made threats against the apostles, man. And we're seeing the Lord is actually executing judgment on men. But He's giving men over to a reprobate mind, man. We want to, and here it is. We still have a sound mind. So all we got to do is continue to stay the course, man. Stay in the Spirit. It's truly a blessing in this time, seeing the things that are going on in Israel, seeing the things that are going on around us, things going on in the world, man. It's truly a blessing to have a sound mind in these times. This is for us. 2 Timothy 1:7. It says, "For the Most High have not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." Beautiful, man. That's what the Lord has given us, and it's truly a treasure in this time. You know, bros have relationships, and then you see your partner bug out. All kinds of shit is happening around us, man. And then here we are, just still the same OG. You know, just doing the same old thing, you know, that everyone counted for naught. You know, didn't see the value in it. Here we are doing the same old thing, same old guy, same old grind, pushing this truth. And that's a blessing. That's a blessing, man. Call Lord Yahawashi Yahawashi in these times for a sound mind. Call Lord Yahawashi Yahawashi in these times for sound doctrine. You know, because it's fewer and fewer men that have it, that have those things. And anything you got a shortage of is of high value. You know, especially when it comes to this truth. You know, so the Lord is really showing those that are His through what their actions and what they teach. You know, I'm gonna leave it right there. You know, I had some scriptures. You know, I was gonna go into how the Lord. You know what? Let's get this one, because the Lord, He'll bug you out. You know, just like He did. You know, to Samuel. What did He do to Samuel? He took the Holy Spirit from him. And then what did the Lord do? He put an evil spirit on him. Bugged Samuel out for going against His commandments. That's not what I wanted to get. Where's Samuel at? 1 Samuel. You know? So we ought to obey the Lord, man. Close it out with this. I just started verse 16. 1 Samuel 16 and 13. I'll start at verse 13. It says, "Then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brethren. And the Spirit of the Lord came upon David from that day forward." You know, Samuel went to go and look for, you know, went to Jesse and had Jesse, went to Jesse's sons, okay? And then ultimately anointed David, you know? And that's what's going on in this particular precepts. Like I'm on the road. It says, so Samuel rose up and went to Ramah. Verse 14, it says, "But the Spirit of the Lord Yahawah departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Lord troubled him." That's a hell of an exchange. When you go against the commandments of Yahawashi Yahawashi, like Samuel did, you know, then this is what the Lord can do. You know, hey, the Lord speaks to us through men. You know, when our elder and apostles put out a decree and tells us to do something, and then, you know, that's the Lord speaking through those men. You got a problem with them, and problem with what they say, problem with the orders that go out. You know, you start murmuring, doing shit that's off, man. The Lord could give you the same type of exchange, bro. We done seen it. The Lord can give any of us. He can do this to any of us, man. That's why we got to stay humble, far from pride, and just continue to do the work, man. Stay in order. Because at the end of the day, we started this work to finish it. That's the goal. Salvation, deliverance, protection in time of trouble, rulership in the kingdom of heaven. These things, man. So, 1 Samuel 16:14, this is what the Lord did to Samuel, man, for disobeying. But the spirit of the Lord Yahawah departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Lord troubled him. Thawadah Yahawashi for a sound mind, man, going into these times. So let us continue to labor in sincerity and in truth, and pray to Yahawashi like David prayed to him. Never take that Holy Spirit away from us, that we may be able to finish our course, man. So with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. Quick hit. Until next time, shalom.